Hello, I watched Eyes of Wakanda last night, basically like an hour after it was released, because, I feel like I have a responsibility now to watch everything that comes out. And, guys, I'm gonna go non-spoiler first, obviously. Just for the what I've seen so far of episodes 2, 3, and 4. I had zero interest in this. I had actually negative interest in this show. And by the way, I didn't even know the show was even coming out until I saw a Reddit thread from r/Marvel Studios saying official discussion thread for episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. I was like, it's out? Yeah, I've seen zero promotion for this. I don't know if they're just trying to discard this and just get it over and done with, but yeah, I've heard nothing about this. Anyways, so yeah, I've had zero interest in this, and I was like, why are they making this? Why? Why? And then I just pressed play, and yeah, the first episode, it's okay. I was kind of, to me, it was kind of boring. I was like, I'm not really invested in this, and if this wasn't Marvel Studios or Marvel Animation or whatever the fuck, I wouldn't be watching this. Episode 2 came around, I thought it was definitely better. It might be the best out of the four, actually. Episode 3, it was good for different reasons. If you've seen the episode, you know what I'm referring to. And episode 4, yeah, alright, sure. So basically, what this is about, it's about Wakandans throughout history. There's like a section of them called War Dogs, and they retrieve artifacts, like vibranium artifacts that were stolen from them ages ago from around the world, and bring it back to Wakanda. And every episode is about retrieving an artifact that needs to go back to Wakanda. But to be honest, I don't know. I was kind of getting bored of that that story because every episode is about retrieving some artifact or whatever. And the animation quality, not great. But listen, it looks really nice. Like the backgrounds, holy shit, they put some fucking effort into those, but like just how they move and stuff, it just feels so cheap and ugly. I don't like it. Like if you take a screenshot from the show, it will look amazing, but once you see them move, it's like, what is going on here? Currently, it's I don't even know. It's like a 3.25 out of 5. So basically like a what did I even just say? 6.5. 6.5 out of 10. Yeah. Alright, let's get into spoilers because I don't know, I'm so tired. This is the morning. I watched this last night and I was kind of drunk as well because I had finished my cooking whiskey. Like I bought like a really cheap bottle of whiskey ages ago just to use for cooking. And last night when I was using it, the cap broke, so I was like, fuck. Guess I have to drink what's left in here. And then I drank it while watching this, and I don't really drink at home, and I don't really drink outside unless it's for a night specifically dedicated to drinking. I don't know why I'm saying this, but yeah, my tolerance is obviously down. So after like the first 2 sips, I was like, well, this is gonna be enjoyable. Anyways, yeah, so episode 1, there's just nothing really to say, is there? I was surprised by the violence. There was an axe story to the head. I was like, whoa, shit. But the story felt a bit too long for the time it had. Like I feel like it's kind of like a feature-length story, but obviously they only had like 30 minutes, so can't do that. But yeah, I thought it was okay. I definitely had zero interest in it. And but by the end of the episode, I was getting kind of concerned because I was like, oh my god, there are still more episodes after this, and if they're exactly like this, I'm gonna clock out mentally. Episode 2 was better. I was more invested in the characters. It's set in Greece with the Trojans, and yeah, with Achilles' heel, when he gets sliced in his heel, I was like, oh, I get it, I get it. The intro for this show is actually pretty cool. I will say that as well. Forgot to mention that. This episode definitely showed the struggle between, maintaining loyalty to a country like Wakanda and, living this double life as an agent. Is it really Marvel-ish? Not really. This could have belonged in like any fantasy show. Throughout the series, I was like, would I be watching this if it wasn't Marvel? Probably not. That's probably my answer. But that kind of changes in episode 3 because we get Iron Fist. The return of Iron Fist in the MCU. Thank God. It's not Danny Rand or it's not Lin Lee or anyone we know. It's some woman from China. and they've already broken continuity because oh fuck, what's the land called? Anyways, in the Netflix show, it was a different dimension, but in here it's just China, like it's just in China. So I don't know. Okay, but one thing that really took me out of the show, this China episode, it takes place in 1400 BCE or 1400 ADE or CE. Either way, the fact that Wakandans have like flying rocket ships and shit, and like sliding automatic doors, I was like, I know this is Wakanda and they have vibranium, but this is way too advanced. This is taking, like, it took me out of the show, and it just made it hard to believe, you know? That is insanely difficult to process that they had rocket ships back then in 1400. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say it's 1400 ADE. That's no, I can't believe that. I'm sorry. I know you have vibranium, but you're telling me your rocket ships, your space shuttles, and your airships haven't really evolved in like 1,000 years or 600 years or whatever? What is going on here? Like, why? Anyways, let's talk about Iron Fist. Iron Fist was pretty cool. I'm glad that they didn't really tone down like how good an Iron Fist would be at fighting. I feel like I feel like she should have whooped main man's ass way quicker than it took. But that scene where she's like, I am the Iron Fist, and whacks the ground. Oh shit, that was cool. I can't lie. But I just really can't get over that. This elastic animation. It's like really like whippy. You know, Marvel's What If had the same issue. It just didn't really flow well, the animation and the combat scenes, and it feels like, I don't know, it just doesn't look great, especially watching other animation like K-pop Demon Hunters where like the action scenes are fucking phenomenal, and then you go back to this and you're like, what is going on here? Also, sometimes the character models would look really cheap. There would be a stark contrast between the quality of the character models to the background. I don't know what's going on with my voice, by the way. Anyways, hopefully this means that they are bringing back Iron Fist in some way, because I feel like he's too pivotal in the Marvel universe to not be mentioned anymore in the MCU. So yeah, it's better than nothing. I might actually make a video about how I would pitch Iron Fist coming into the MCU. You know, I feel like that will be fun. I didn't really like the ending though, because it was super like Disney corny, like, oh, this is all we need. We're friends now. Let me come up with this plan to tell the commander, and then my friend gets a promotion or whatever. Like, yeah, I feel like as a story overall, episode 2 was better, but I really like it seeing Iron Fist, obviously. Episode 4 takes place in Ethiopia, and we have a prince, and a war dog, a soldier, I don't know. They're retrieving a Wakandan axe. Yeah, like the axe with vibranium on it. And then a time-traveling Black Panther from the future comes in, and she's like, hey, yo, put that axe back because you're gonna fucking ruin everyone. It was really sick to see the Watcher as well, but I feel like the Watcher was kinda misplaced here. I don't think it was that big of a pivotal event. Yeah, because we saw him in X-Men 97, and that makes sense because it actually fucking happened. But why would you put the Watcher at a point in time where it leads to the big event, you know? Because he would be watching the Horde invasion instead. But it feels like they just chucked him in here to be like, oh, look, this is gonna be big, this is gonna be big. And the axe, the relevance of it is that Killmonger eventually uses it in 2018. And then that leads to T'Challa announcing to the world that Wakanda is here, and then I assume that in the future when the horde of these alien things come in, they can fight together because everyone knows Wakanda exists. All because of Killmonger taking the axe and, you know, having that battle. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But again, did I really care though? Did I really care? Listen, with these 4 episodes, I could have lived my life without them. I was so ready last night to just clock out, and then I realized that I had to watch these episodes, and I was like, oh god. Also, by the way, the thing about like doing these YouTube videos is that I feel compelled to like watch them as soon as possible, which kind of like makes it less enjoyable sometimes because you kind of force feeding yourself. Anyways, I don't think I have much more to say. I think there's a second set of episodes coming out, or was it two more sets of episodes? I don't know. This was 2 hours in total because every episode was around like 30 minutes. I guess if you discount the credits, it will be like 25 minutes, but yeah, Eyes of Wakanda. I don't care. I don't care about the show, to be honest. It was alright. Like I'm not gonna be out here like recommending it. Like it's definitely not a pivotal watch, you know. But I thought it definitely surpassed my expectations, and my expectations were fucking dog shit. So that's something. Do I feel like my time's been wasted? No, because it was, it was like good enough, you know. But I feel like that's not a standard that you should be aiming for these days, especially with superhero content. It has to be fucking nailed or different, otherwise you're just gonna fall behind. And yeah, I still don't really understand why Disney isn't really promoting the show. Is this part of the last batch of Marvel projects where, they're kind of like trying to scoff and hide away like Captain America Brave New World? And then who was it, Bob Iger? He was like, yeah, we finally realized what we're doing wrong and we're gonna turn it around with Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four and Daredevil Born Again. And they didn't mention this show, so this must have been made before that ship turnaround. I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought of this show so far, and I guess I'll be tuning in for next week for the next 4 episodes. Will I binge them all like I did here? Hopefully not.